And let's get into Brickken specifically and what you're building, right? Because I think your product platform on the blockchain is much different than buying Ethereum or buying Bitcoin and holding it as an investment, right? So maybe you could just articulate maybe how you pitch it or how you sell it to potential clients. What is the benefit of what Brickken is building on the blockchain? What do you provide to real world assets and companies and people that they can take advantage of?
Yeah. Okay. So we deal with tokenization. Within the end, it's the digitization or representation of an offline asset. In this case, equity is offline, debt is online, and these are financial instruments. So there's securities, others can be other things. So we decided that it is more efficient to have this online or on chain just because of how you can interact against the financial industry. If I have a capital of a company and I want to increase it, I have to go maybe to my family, friends, to a venture capital. You have very limited financial possibilities for you to get capital. Capital is costly. So maybe through blockchain, you can reduce the barriers of entry. You can invite other people across the globe in environments 24/7. So it's kind of like you provide more options to how you can raise money, capital, raise loans, debt. So this is kind of like why we're bringing financial instruments on chain, just because it does turn out that it's more efficient than what is we used to. Offline contract, document, paperwork, signing process, lawyers in between the whole flow. So we decided that technology provides certain assurance, security, efficiency, optimization, and that is why financial instruments will start running on chain. And our pitch that began in 2020 got validated this year when BlackRock decided to fund or deploy a fund on Ethereum because they see that it's just more capital efficient to execute certain transactions, to get capitalized, to move money on blockchain than what they're used to, which is offline per se. It's still online because it's monetized, but I'm talking about not with that technology of blockchain.
Do you have more information about how the BlackRock fund works? So you say it's built on Ethereum, and so is it driven by USDC, for example, or how are people utilizing or transferring money to BlackRock through the blockchain?
Yeah, so they still not in a decentralized format. They're in a centralized format that they have to run through Securitize. So people have to log in to do that through the BlackRock dashboard. Then that's BlackRock has to acknowledge. It's still very much centralized, but it showcases that the possibilities of now deploying a full fund that you can review the transactions online 24/7 because it's on Etherscan. You can see certain movements. So it is kind of like the most transparent fund right now, but it's still under a centralized umbrella. Is that bad? No. I think it's super good what happened. I mean, you don't go 0 to 100. Let's say right now with this move, they're going 0 to 20. That's already huge advance. Yes, it is going against USDC. Circle is providing the transactions in USDC. There are other players saying, "Hey, now since that has a value, why don't you collateralize? If you have tokens of your BlackRock built token, you can bring it out to me. I know it has value. I can collateralize you and give you a loan against that token." And those interactions are becoming all on chain, all transparent, 24/7, which is building something completely different. If right now I own shares, I'm going to say of Apple, why not? I don't even own the shares of Apple. The broker owns the shares of Apple. I have a position in the brokerage. If I want to have my certificate of shares, there is a joke that you can never know how to get the certificate that you own the shares because the broker will never try to give you that certificate. And if I had that certificate, for me to get money against that certificate, I will have to go to the bank and the bank will say like, I don't even know what is this certificate. Please go. This is not how we're going to give you a loan. All of that happens right now. But now we have all of this and all of new information and new products are being funded. So it just shows kind of like new opportunities are being arising just because everything is an open, distributed ledger.
So you really see this touching kind of every aspect of the things that we own, right? Like homes, cars, stocks, debt, equity in a company. Is that fair?
I do believe assets are gonna be represented on chain just because information will be more easy to maneuver, to send, to receive, and that will become it more optimized. So if I want to get a loan against my car, my title deed of a car will probably only get me so far in my own bank where they're custodian, but in this format where I can prove and assert I'm the owner of a Ferrari, so to speak, a 1979, some classic, maybe somebody on their own chain from Indonesia can say, you know what, against that title deed, I'll provide you a loan. We are trying to understand that those flows are happening. They're going to increment because the limit now of me asserting my ownership of assets, it's on a paper document that can get me so far. Can get me to the branch next to my house if they accept me. But on chain, it can probably get me a little bit farther. So yes, I do believe a lot of things will go on chain.
And so, can you maybe provide a little bit more information about how this would work? Is it an NFT? The title of the vehicle is essentially an NFT. And is that what you do as well with Brickken? For example, if somebody wants to raise capital for their company, whatever their ownership document and proof that they own and run the business is then transferred to the blockchain as an NFT.
Yeah, so NFT is just it's another technology. Some people use NFTs, some people use tokens, fungible ERC20s. So in the end, it's just how you're gonna represent that. Maybe a full deed makes sense on the NFT because you're the sole owner, but maybe it makes sense on an ERC20 if you have 10,000 owners of the same property. So it's just a matter of understanding what is the asset being digitized and embedded on chain, and then you can decide what is the best technology on chain to push that. So yes, it can be an NFT, but yes, it can also be an ERC20. I think we're just trying to understand what is the best technology for what format. So indeed, titles where it's a one-to-one, I have no doubts NFT works. When you bring more people into the variable, maybe ERC20 works. So, but the important thing is that all of these representations, I have zero doubt that in the end of the day, they will be represented on chain and in my wallet, where I am the sole custodian and sole owner. I can prove that I have all of these assets and then go out into the market to get a loan, to play with some other interesting financial instrument, to do a lot of things that right now I feel like I'm just not capable of.